going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
And Jeff.
I was going to introduce him separately, but it's
okay. I'm Mike.
Special guest, just frequent special guest.
Frequent special guest. Jeff Manning, whoever that is.
Glad to be here sometimes. Always glad to be here. Just only here sometimes. I better clarify.
Yeah.
Every show has to have a part-time guest. You know, there's Mike Molesky, there's Chad Olson, and there's Jeff Manning.
It's true.
We're not going to rank those tonight, though.
No.
You'd be last.
I'm not important. It's okay.
Spoiler. Tonight we're kicking off Revolution 2096 with Enigma.
Ooh.
And Splatter, his updated card.
With the hearts and all.
I like the hearts.
Yeah.
That's his love for Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We can start off with Enigma since he's the new guy.
Alrighty.
Of course you would. I had a Splatter's card brought up. I'm bringing up Enigma. Throw me for a loop.
For me, that wasn't the greatest artwork. I wasn't a big fan of it.
And he got an update quick, though.
Well, his card was terrible.
Yeah, like those arms are just kind of weird. It looks like he got, injection biceps and.
Well, I don't think it fit his character. Wasn't he supposed to be a speedster? I mean, I guess if you're going in the P.D. Williams kind of camp, it could be a P.D. Williams.
He's a -1 agility.
What was
power?
What was P.D. Williams' nickname?
Little P.D. Pump.
Yeah, little pump. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I knew it was something to do with Scott Steiner, but he wasn't Big Papa. That's what Enigma's body type right there reminds me of. I think it's the pose too. He kind of has the arms there, like
yeah,
like how he would pose.
He doesn't have legs. I do remember whenever I got, because I definitely stormed the ring. I got 2088 through 2108 all in one fell swoop at my first Galacticon. And I remember flipping through the cards, and this is definitely one that caught my eye, and maybe stop and look at it because it was just so different from everything else that had been out there so far. Just his look.
He's a very unique character, and he has that mechanic too that's different.
Out of the ring,
the Feet of Fury.
Yeah,
that was really cool. But that's not on this card. That's on the next card.
Not
Sorry.
this one.
Spoiler alert for future episodes. Sorry. I'm just throwing everything out.
How long does this card last?
2 years.
Yeah.
He gets a new one in 2098. That's the up close, like mask only kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, he did absolutely nothing for me, but I think that's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
It was just an introduction, just a step above Jobber.
Yeah, it was an introduction card for him. He gets better as he goes on.
He gets probably the biggest bump from his 2096 to 2099 card. Like his raw rating is -1-2, and then his 2099 card is 3639. So that's a pretty significant bump.
Yeah.
I know Jeff is a big fan of the raw ratings.
I am. I mean, I'm a big fan of baseball's WAR rating. That's where it all starts. So
there you go.
But yeah, the raw rating it's a good indicator. I know it's not the end all be all, but the 2098 update and then you got 2099 update too, right? Or is that just online? I'm still used to playing online.
I think that might just be an online thing because I have the wiki pulled up here. It's 96, 99, and then 2109.
See, I've got the gallery, so they did an update online in 2098, so they probably creeped him a little.
Yeah, probably
in 2098, and that's when the Feet of Fury came in.
You described the artwork though from the 2099 card though. He even gets another upgrade though in 2109. He gets even better.
I guess he didn't have the art upgrade in 2098. He just got the card updated a little bit. See, online throws it off a little bit for me.
Yeah, see, for those 2 years where he was on that card, he wrestled Gemini, whom he beat. And then he went against Rising Sun and lost. captured no titles. I know I had him coming in at 5'10" and a svelte 215 pounds.
You're pretty close. His official rating or size is 5'10" and 1/2. His weight is 225 pounds.
Yeah, a little more muscle to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely a lower card. He had some good feuds. I feel like he kind of took Darko's spot in the overly dramatic kind of character for them.
Yeah.
That's what he did for me, at least. He kind of came in cocky and kind of got put in his place over and over.
Yeah, that's what I tried to push him as, the new up and coming young stud for the masked assassins. And then he'd get his ass handed to him, but he'd always be the type of guy who, he'd be like, run 20 feet away, then make fun of you again. And then when you run up to him, we're run away again. That's how I had him. He was just a mouthpiece.
Yeah. And that's what I meant by replacing Darko's. I know Darko's was still the manager, but Darko's was always the overly dramatic character and then for me. And then when Enigma came in, he kind of took some of that spotlight.
Yeah, that's how I play him, is just the ongoing mouthpiece, just the nonstop talks. At this point, he couldn't back up anything he said, so he got trashed a lot, but he kept coming back. But yeah, no titles for him. Not even there wasn't much in that way for him.
Yeah. His
Especially
card
at
was
this level.
Yeah, I mean he definitely improves a lot, but this card is his level 1 and level 2 offense isn't terrible, but his level 3 is trash.
Can't keep you down. It's got too many choices.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of chart going on there.
Yep. +1 finisher, not bad though for who he was at the time.
but for only one finisher and it's a +1.
Yeah.
Especially because the power creeping was going up pretty good at this level, so you didn't have too many guys with 5 and 6 finishers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just wasn't very good at this time period. I don't think he really made any impact at all.
3 downs on his level 3 defense, +1 on his level 2.
Yeah.
It's not a good card. It's not a good card, but he filled a void. He filled a little niche there.
Yeah, he was a ringside distraction more than anything. He only had a distractor rating of 6 though.
And he was an attraction too.
Right.
To bring fans in.
Mm-hmm. Definitely unique in his look. So he got the Kamala mask almost. An updated cyberpunk version of the Kamala mask.
Yeah, definitely looks like that.
Yeah, like I said, he served a bit of a purpose, and I think this is something that Tom had in mind, like to bring up the next generation of mass assassins
Mm-hmm.
from the start. Like he was getting the Pulsar Prime and treatment. Bringing the young crappy guy and slowly make him better.
I do miss that with the newer sets. Seems like everybody's pretty established when they come into the Fed now. Whereas back then, you kind of got to see them start from the bottom and work their way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can kind of already see that in places like WWE.
True.
Most of the guys that they bring in are established. If they're not, they go to NXT and they're not officially debuting in WWE yet.
True, true.
You can kind of see that. You could do that with the was it CWF or Future Shock or I don't know all the storylines now. I'm not as current as some people.
Me neither.
So but how would you power creep this little jobber?
This is a tough one.
I think you have to get rid of one of those level 2s on level 3 offense. And nobody else really had 2 level 2s on level 3 offense at that point that I can remember, besides unless they were literally created to just be a jobber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the glaring obvious one there.
That's why I spoke first. I want you guys to have trouble because you guys are better at the power creeps.
I take away his down on level 2 defense.
Just to be different, I'll change his death jump to a B.
Is that going to help him immensely?
Nope. Here. I'll do one. I'll change it. I'll change it. For who he was at the time, I'll make his distractor rating an 8.
Wow, that's a high distractor rating.
It is.
But he's got
Look-
some wrestling
look at
ability,
this
more
thing.
so than a typical manager. Yeah,
You saw this thing running around ringside, it would definitely distract you.
it definitely would.
Look at
It
that.
distracts
Jushin
me right
Liger
now.
looks like his finger in a light socket.
No
It's like-
chance of getting lost in the shuffle.
No, look at this guy.
And that would help the Demons of Hydra.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's how I'd power creep him. Distractor rating of an 8.
I like it.
Mainly just to be different.
There's no wrong answer here.
That is true. So I guess we can slide into our next character here, which is Splatter with an update.
He was always one of my favorite characters.
Mine too. Right out of a horror movie.
I'm not going to join in with that Splatter love. He's good, but I wouldn't go as far as favorite characters. He was versatile. I liked that he was one of the first ones that could take on good guys and bad guys in my Fed. Because with the lottery, he just didn't care.
Right.
Which created a lot of good feuds that. So in my ranking system, I always do good guys are in a blue tint and bad guys are in a red tint. He was the first purple.
Nice.
That's how it worked for me. I mean, it was like Splatter was the purple guy, and now there's a lot of them as you get into different groups and 3 different groups and this and that.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was the one. It was like, and then there's Splatter. He can show up on any show that he's booked because he can face anyone. So I really like that portion of it. Do you have the raw ratings from 2088 to 2096?
Yes. 2088, his original card was 2125. And this one was just a slight bump to 2627.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because it did a whole lot more for me.
I guess it's the DQ finisher, maybe, that hurts him in that rating system. Jeff, explain it to us.
I'm not wrong.
Who's
No,
wrong?
I
We
mean-
need to get him on the show.
Hey, I don't know if he's around anymore. But yeah, I mean his ropes is a C, turnbuckles B, death jumps B. That doesn't really help him much.
And ropes comes up a lot,
He has a down 3 on level 2. That hurts.
but he only has 1 on 3 with a lead.
That is true.
An
And
A
you can put you
rating.
down 3 times on 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
straight through.
it's a good card. He also has a level 2 on level 3 offense, though. I mean he's chaotic. He's a chaotic character. That's what it comes out to.
Mhm.
He's not exceptionally powerful and he's slow. I mean, ultimately, I don't have the raw ratings in front of me, but there's a lot of he's a mid card. I mean, I would if I had to guess without knowing the raw ratings, I would say he's a 25 to 30.
For this card?
Yeah,
Yeah, 26, 27.
yeah. I mean, that's about right.
See,
Go
for
ahead.
me, I got him sitting at a +3 because I rank my guys 1 through 5. So he's a +3. So he's middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm. That level 2 offense, I mean, even though he can't keep you down, he's got a 50-50 shot at putting you back down. So
So this is what he did for me as regular Splatter. You know, his first card. Him and Pit Viper won the Intergalaxian Tag titles as the Blood Brothers. They didn't upset. He's a 4-time GWF lightweight for me. Now my lightweight was 1 or 2 point wrestlers. I changed the title to Galaxian. And then him and Pit Viper were 2-time War Game tag champions. So he had a fairly, 4 or 5, 7 titles as the first Splatter. The second Splatter, this card we're talking about now, 3-time Intergalaxian tag champion. I mean, sorry, 3-time Intergalaxian singles champion, 1-time heavy metal champion, and I don't use that anymore, and 1-time GWF heavyweight champion.
yeah, I mean, he can do it.
He can definitely pull up some upsets. I know he had some good feuds, even with the likes of like Star Warrior for me. Predominantly for me, he was feuding with the Animan most of the time. he actually won my interplanetary title. I don't have as many titles as you, Mike. Sorry. He won the interplanetary title at the tail end in December of 2095 with his original card. And then he got an upgrade the first month as champion in 2096. So that was kind of cool. And then he had like a 5-month reign with it, which is a decent reign, 154 days total. But that's been his only title reign. He lost it to Pegasus. Again, Pegasus was an up-and-comer then, and he could face good guys, bad guys, so that's why he lost it to Pegasus, who was a bad guy at the time. But yeah, I really enjoyed his character because you didn't know as interplanetary champion who he was going to attack and get the ire of, and I kind of let that play out itself instead of usually I use my rankings, but in that situation it was like, he'll make somebody mad with with a lottery or something, so it kind of played out that way.
So did you guys use the lottery a lot?
It came up a lot for me, and I didn't even play that many cards per year, but I remember it happening a lot.
I had a mid tier that I allowed it to happen against. I limited it to that. You had, like I said, I do my rankings every month. They get an update based upon the last 3 months. So there was anybody outside of the top, I'd say the champ plus the top 5 contenders he was allowed to attack. I wouldn't let him attack those guys unless it was a long time since an attack had occurred and they were the ones that rolled it. That's about it. Occasionally, like I said, he would feud with like a Star Warrior or something, but most of the time he was that mid tier, so I kept it to those guys that he was going to attack.
Me being 13 or 14 years old the first time I was playing with this card, anytime it came up, oh, he's coming out.
It's like the glass shattering.
Yeah.
Stone cold splatter.
There
The
he
whole
is.
show's wrapped around him.
The Brothers of Destruction coming out after every match.
Yeah, here he is again. Why did they arrest this guy yet? He's still here.
He's got a foreign object.
See, I only used it against, because he was part of the Mass Assassin. So if they were feuding the Titans, that's the only time I did it. Is if say, Lord Nexus is taking on, Cannibal, and I roll a 13, then Splatter would come down to attack Lord Nexus. I only use it against the people he's feuding, not just any random, because you could have that 4 or 5 times on a card.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's Splatter again.
There he is again.
I like that this episode.
Oh, he's coming down from the rafters.
This episode is wrapped around characters that did not get lost in the shuffle for Broc.
Right?
I haven't heard that besides out of my mouth this episode, so that's good. He knew Splatter. He interfered in like half the matches, and he knew Enigma because he was just crazy, and he wanted to pump him up with his distractor rating.
Yeah,
I like it.
And I use Splatter as a measuring stick. Like he feuded Raven 3 times. He lost twice, but he beat him once. Feuded Spike, Buck Steel. He drew against him. Buck Steel Genocide. They just had just a brutal bloodbath series of matches. So he's somebody I'm not scared to put into big feuds.
Yeah, he's got a solid card.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Mass Assassins are ranked, especially, that makes him powerful because they really didn't have a lot of powerful cards in Mass Assassins.
No.
Always one of my favorite groups, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They're a great mid-card fodder.
I always like mask guys.
Obviously. Splatter and Enigma, they not lost in the shuffle.
See? It's have to look cool.
There were some mask guys, though, that the original Pit Viper I had struggled with, especially with him being a good guy initially.
He was one of my favorites.
He was one of my favorites, too.
I struggled with his character, just finding it.
I made a bootleg version of him called Pit Viper with 2 T's, the Pittsburgh version.
Wow. Glad I don't own that.
You probably do, and just already lost it in the shuffle.
Lost in the shuffle.
He's got a black and gold costume.
He does.
Black and yellow. Oh, gosh. Theme song's already released.
He's the greatest bootleg of all time.
It can feud with Sam's Cleveland Brown.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take you down on a tangent on Pit Viper.
It's okay.
There's certain mask wrestlers I had trouble getting behind. Viper's one that was kind of hard to get behind. Maybe I just have a problem with Vipers, but I like Randy Orton, so explain that.
Yeah. How would
If
you
he had
power
a
creep?
mask on.
Okay. How would you power creep this splatter?
All right, let's look at it.
I don't want to go with the obvious with that level 3 offense, so I'll give him a B rating in ropes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the level 3 offense is the obvious thing. Like you said, the other obvious is the level 2 defense having that down 3.
He's got 3 comebacks. That kind of balances it out. And
But I'm
only
not
one
trying to
down on
balance
level
it out. I'm
3.
trying to power creep it.
What?
That's what you said. This isn't the balance out creep, right? I was gonna power creep it.
I'm gonna ruin the DQ on the finisher.
There you go.
Ooh,
Nice.
you didn't see that giant club.
He'd been around. Just he knows how to use it. He's had it for years.
He does.
He's watched old Earth videos of the Moondogs. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, because he's got a DQ of 6. He probably gets disqualified a lot.
I'm not a fan of DQ finishers, period. I know they're necessary and they do serve a purpose in a lot of my Fed, but it's like I almost have to hold my breath every time I roll one. Like, oh, is this gonna change the outcome of my match?
Yes.
It does a lot.
It eventually will.
It does. And it's disappointing. It's disheartening, but it does build the character.
It does.
And we have two masked assassins on. Which are your favorite masked assassins? There's quite a few of them to choose from. We know it's not the Vipers. We got that, Jeff.
Yeah, not the Vipers, sorry. Well, first I want to talk about a disappointment for me.
Uh-oh.
The GWF files, I loved reading about tag teams, especially. I was really excited for the Demons of Hydra, and they just haven't done anything for me. I was really hoping they'd be good.
I like their newer cards better.
Oh, I was hoping they would feud. I was hoping they'd be on the level of like, the mercenaries. They're just not.
No, they're not.
But favorite, I mean, it's kind of stupid, it's kind of silly, but I liked Darkos. I really feel like he was the overly dramatic leader. I always viewed him as a modern day like John Wilkes Booth, because they said after John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln, he hopped on stage and something, and like that was my view of him. Like, I'm gonna shoot you and I'll just put it all on display. I'm better than everybody, and I don't know. There was just something about him. I liked him. I thought that was the appeal of the group was him. And he surrounded himself with more deadly people, but he was obviously the mouthpiece and the focal point, so much so that he put himself in tag teams. Like, I'm going to do this myself.
Right.
So probably character-wise, he's my all-around favorite. I just wish he didn't have that 8-5 pin.
Right.
But he only had one down.
Yeah, but he still lost a lot.
Oh, yeah. He had for me, that Darkos captured a tag team title with Chaos. They got paired up together in a tournament and won it. And he'd put them down and Chaos would finish them off.
And all I can think of is, what book? They give a book with these sets?
I was actually a fan of the Demons of Hydra. I like their updated cards a lot better. I like the look of them on those cards.
Yeah.
They look more kind of like Mortal Kombat characters a little bit.
I haven't reached them yet. I'm in 2101.
Okay, they're coming soon for you then.
Yeah.
But I like them a
They'll get
lot.
better. They might win some more matches for you.
Yeah,
I was just excited for them. Every time there's a good tag team, especially because the Gladiators dominate predominantly throughout history. Anybody that can challenge them, I'm excited about. And I was really hoping they'd be one, and they just weren't. They couldn't get past even the lower tier.
Yeah, for me, my favorite all-time guy would be Splatter. I was a fan of his, even with I feuded him and Renegade for a while. I just thought they matched up perfect. And then when he teamed up with Pit Viper, I just love that tag team, the Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
The Bludgeon Brothers, no. Way better name, Blood Brothers.
And it's funny because in my current GWF, the Masked Assassins are in 2 different promotions. So the Mass Assassins are in the GWF and in my mid-fed, the NGA. And in the GWF, it's Enigma, Splatter, and the British Bomber, the NGO guy. And Enigma and Splatter are a tag team.
Cool.
Who's in the lower tier?
It's the Manslaughter and what are their names? The Demons of Hydra.
Yeah, by that point they changed to what? Hydrax and
Yeah, it's the Daemons of Hydra or
yeah.
the Demons of Hydrax. And I'm
Good
bringing
stuff.
in another NGO character, the Lord of the Ring.
Oh gosh. Does he have hairy feet?
Oh, no.
That's a Hobbit joke. Sorry. It's not funny if you got to explain it. Sorry.
He's got a
I
Mexican
got it.
name, and the card looks absolutely great. The artwork. We'd have Brock normally show it to you, but he's in a different place in his house, so he has.
Did
no
you say
access.
it's a Mexican themed?
He's a luchador,
But he
he's
goes by Lord of the Ring, not
But in
Espanol.
Spanish.
but
Yeah.
in Spanish.
Oh, is it in Spanish?
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh, okay.
There's something del muerte or
Muerte is death.
yeah. I or do know. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
Un poquito.
Not even a little.
A little bit.
So the character's name is El Dueño del Ring.
I don't know what that means. We have to look it up. Is that Lord in Spanish?
It's
That's
the
Ring.
Lord of the Ring.
Oh my gosh.
You can't tell me that's not an awesome art.
Yeah, the art's cool, but the name, it needs some help.
Well, you talk to Corey Olson. It's his character.
I'll be sure to.
He'll slap the taste right out of your mouth.
I know I'll be going to the Galacticon this year. I'm driving the 14 hours down. With my wife's going to come with.
Hopefully you
fun.
find someone to hang out with there.
Well, that's why I posted on the message board. I'm like, hey, I said, anybody else bringing their wives? I figured it'd be Lori, Beck, and a few other guys said, yeah, their wives are coming. So
If I come, I'll probably be flying solo. Because bringing my kids last year was not a good time.
no, I can't see sticking them in a car for 8 hours.
No, or it'd be like 11 hours, I think.
Yeah, it'd be longer.
More than that. They did 8 hours fine. The Philly ones were okay with for them, but
It's not the car.
yeah, it's not the car.
It's when they're unleashed.
When they're loose.
Yeah.
Here's a breakthrough, everybody. If anybody's aware who was at Galacticon this past year. Just this past Saturday, Hope goes, hey, mommy, I was the one who put your phone in the microwave, not Benny.
Ooh.
And then we go, well, who turned it on? She goes, that was me too. She let him take the fall for it.
Damn.
That was a good run.
Yeah, 9 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So you just could have kept on that and
Yeah, he would have never fessed. He would have probably already forgot about it, but
yeah. You probably didn't even know he did it.
he didn't.
Yeah, you did it. Oh, okay.
I still blame you two. Your 8 distractor ratings distracted us long enough just to
Make things interesting. Added to the storyline. You needed that.
yeah, definitely.
So we should pack this up and head out.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, or listening, however you consume our show. If you haven't yet, please click the subscribe button below. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Also, while you're here, check out in the description below. We have links to several other people's Filsinger Games related content, including the official Filsinger Games podcast Roll Up, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, Dizzy Dice from Lee Longpre, the Filsinger Games fan cast from Grant. Here on YouTube, we have Solo Promoter, also from Grant, Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling, and After Further Review. So check those things out. And also, you'll see my Twitch channel. I stream a bootleg Champions of the Galaxy Fed every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have a good time. There's some chaos going on there right now, but it's still fun. So check that out if you have a chance, and check out everybody else's stuff. And if you have anything else you'd like to add to our list of links below, we'd be happy to include you as well. Just send one of us a message and we'd be happy to add it down below as well. That's all I got, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Night, everyone.
See you later.
Later.